This is actually a nice little kind of synopsis, a bit of a wrap up of this week. I keep wanting to call it Sanctions Week. Scrutiny Week, there you go. It's a very different thing, Sanctions Week. Sanctions Week is the week where we try and tie down David Seymour and Winston Peters and allow them not to move for a week. Scrutiny Week, and it's a bit of an explanation as to what went on in the whole week. Here we go.
The police were again defending their recruiting processes at Parliament today as they try to find 500 extra cops. And as Scrutiny Week draws to a close.
So if you guys hadn't heard, the police lowered the standard for whatever the best word is for reading and writing and arithmetic. But that word, it sounds funny that I can't think of the word right now, and got criticised fairly heavily for it. And then the new boss came in and said, nope, we're not doing that anymore. But they're still not going to make their numbers by a long way.
Senior political reporter Benedict Collins wraps
Literacy, that's what I'm looking for.
up the last day.
There's no more pretending. We'll have 500 extra police by November.
I've always been very keen that it is November this year, but the realities may be different to that.
Yeah, but she still said maybe. So I don't know, Mr. Reporter Man, if they have given up. She said maybe different. She didn't say we're not. They haven't said we're not going to do it yet, have they? So maybe is not quite there.
More realities too. Police have used their discretion to let in lots of recruits who have failed fitness, literacy and psychometric testing.
That does not change the quality of police officers.
Because that psychometric testing is nothing that's really needed, is it? That's all fine.
So hang on, is she saying the fact that they have hand waves of people that have failed key aspects of their training, but that doesn't lower the standards?
Well, this is how I would interpret it, right? You know how, for example, in med, a lot of people are very annoyed with like the entrance set aside for rural people or for Māori. Helps them get in, but they have to do all the same things once they're there. So they're as qualified at the end. I assume I'm probably explaining it better than she does, but I'm assuming what she's saying is, yep, look, we've let a few people through with literacy issues. I don't know, might be dyslexic, who knows? But they're still going to have to pass all the same things to become a police officer. That's what I think they're meaning by the levels haven't dropped. Maybe the entries have, but the graduations haven't. But then I am just spitballing, Chewie, but that's what I would think at least anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? All right.
Not change the quality of police officers that hit the street.
The Assistant Commissioner let in a few who flunked.
We receive about 500 applications per month to join our organisation. 2 made their way to me for exemptions over the 14, 16 months or so. So that should offer you some reassurance that the standards have not dropped.
There will be no discretion going forward.
So, no more discretion. Like the discretion that helped Casey Costello get into police college in the 80s, she nearly came up a little short.
Had it not been for a little bit of discretion, I wouldn't have got into the police because of the physical restrictions at that time around height and weight. You wouldn't know it now, but back then I was a bit smaller.
There have been dozens of select committees over the last few days as part of Scrutiny Week. Some turned into a ruckus.
Respectfully, Mr Chair.
People would have less money in their bank accounts if you were in charge.
Excuse me, point of order, Mr Chair.
The Honourable Nicola Willis dead set on scrutinising those out of power.
I'm sorry, Chloe, but I do not accept that a plan that seeks to confiscate tens of billions of dollars of New Zealanders' assets, savings and income in the form of new taxes would be good for the productivity of our economy. I am prepared to concede. At least you have a plan. We don't even know whether Labor want more debt, more tax, less spending. So I'll give you that.
Poor Chloe Swarbrick.
New Zealand's rate of corporate tax is now looking pretty high.
Eventually losing the will to live. Another Scrutiny Week at Parliament down. Benedict Collins, One News.
Oh, that is a fantastic image. It's sad, but I you know what I love about Chloe? She's the opposite of pretentious, like stiff upper lip. I have to sit here and take it. I think that she's very, very relatable. It's like, it's who she is. So I think it's great. Poor Chloe.
Oh, I feel that in my bones. Imagine being trapped in a small room with Nicola Willis. Like,
Well-
how can you say that? Like, oh, you plan to confiscate
Yeah.
the savings and property? Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And it turns out she's talking about tax. So does that mean what National's tax rate is? That is also a confiscation?
Yeah, but it's not as much, Chewie. They'd confiscate more.
Right.
So,
So
it's
it comes
badder.
under the description
worse,
of,
right?
of confiscating. What the... what a load of twaddle.
I'm looking forward to the next time we've got Chloe. And I guarantee you, I just want to say, what were you thinking in this moment? That's all I want to ask her. It's like,
She is all of us. Like, oh my God, put that on a billboard and go, do you feel like this?
vote
'Cause we
Greens.
do. Yeah.
So interesting times. It's actually really embarrassing for the government, this police thing, because even the blimmin' media is now saying National is agreeing that they won't make it by November, and then the minister goes, "Well, November's always been the target, but it's looking harder." So they're kind of not, but they are. But that's a pretty big L for them based on their promises.
The media really need to be saying, look, the government are now sort of saying that they might not get that. Like we were saying right from the get-go. They have never tracked to that number. And all that they were going to do was change the standards. That was the only chance they had to do it, and they still haven't done it. And now all they've got is the fact that they're opening another police college in Auckland for some reason, because they want to attract candidates that can't be away from their mum and dad for 6 weeks.
It's a good police officer, isn't it? So they pull over a 63-year-old and go, "Oh, you remind me of my mum, and she's lovely, so I'll let you go." Although that might be too bad.
It's just batshit insane. And like, on seeing Nicola speak with what seems to be a position of authority on the economy just makes me grind my teeth, because nothing she has done has benefited this country. Nothing, not a damn thing. And like I was explaining to my wife, who's English, because she watched that Q&A with Ruth Richardson the other day, and she goes, this is a terrible woman. And I'm like, yes, but more to the point, you can find out when she was a finance minister on a range of graphs. You can see what she did to this country. And I was just talking about what it was like. I was talking about what it was like at the time and why things are the way that they are because of Ruth Richardson. And the more I spoke about it, the more I was like, that is like, she came in after a time of great turbulence in the international market and the New Zealand economy. You had the stock market crash. You had the country almost being bankrupt. You had mass sell-offs of state-owned enterprises, and you had a lot of people out of work. And a lot of that sounds very similar to the situations that we have today. So I think that National have gone, well, let's go back into the ideas cupboard, and we'll open that book that's made of dried human skin that screams when you open it, that Ruth left us. Yeah, the fucking Necronomicon at the back of the ideas cupboard. And let's try and do this again, because none of us have learned anything in 30 years. Like what Craig was saying, this is a great opportunity for the Crown to do some investment. Like, wouldn't it be great if we had a chain of hospitals being built? Like, not just bitching and arguing over the Southern Hospital, but actually going, we're going to build that one. And then, well, we've got all of those workers and all of those people that are now very used to building a hospital. Once we've finished that hospital, we're going to build another one. And
keep them in the country. Oh my gosh. What a crazy idea.
One.
Crazy idea.
Because we've spoken about this, about how much of a problem it is that we do these big projects and then we hemorrhage the knowledge.
Yeah.
So those New Zealand companies that could be doing it don't have the knowledge. We had to get someone in from overseas. And just as someone in the chat went, bam, there goes our money off overseas. There goes the profits off overseas. Like, it's almost like we need a plan. Nicola doesn't have a plan apart from exercise everything that Labor did. I don't want to see it. Get rid of it.